Okay. I hope all your midterms are going well. I know it's super stressful, but I hope this can be a little bit more of a fun lecture than some of the others you're having. But yeah. So we're gonna be talking about FigJam and Figma Community. Yeah, this is our little schedule for today. It's gonna be very chill. FigJam is more of like an opportunity for you guys rather than something that's super necessary, but it's gonna be really good to learn about. So just to touch on the midterms, just a quick check-in. Um, Everyone feel free to drop in the chat how it's going, whether you've chosen a prompt, if you started brainstorming, if you started designing too. Awesome. Yay, start designing. Guys, I started mine like the day it was assigned when I took Figma, and it took me like until the day of submission. So honestly, I'd really recommend starting. It's like it can pile up. But yeah, awesome. Good choosing prompts. What prompts have most people chosen? Oh, don't be stressed. It should be fun. How many of you guys are doing? Yeah, the second to last. Yeah, you can do more screens. It's more of like a guideline for you. But yeah, I think I did the UX one, first one. Okay. Yay, I love that. I hope this is going to be fun for you guys. Cool. Yeah, I'd really recommend getting started if you haven't. At least start brainstorming. It's just gonna don't let it pile up, especially with midterms right now and everything. So yeah. And if you need an extension, make sure to ask for one. Yeah. What do I cook next? Okay. Any questions about the midterm? Any other questions you guys might have that you want to talk about? Feel free to drop in the chat, or you can also stay on a little after. I'll keep it going for like another like 5 to 10 minutes, and we can talk more then as well. But yeah. Okay. So, question. Yes, an ice cream place counts. Yeah, counts as it's a place where you eat. So, Fig Jam. Is anyone familiar with Fig Jam at all or anything? Has anyone used it? Maybe in Teams or anything? Cool. So what is FigJam? You can think of FigJam as a big playground whiteboard focused on collaboration. And like Figma, FigJam is vector-based and incorporates more tools to allow for better live brainstorming and diagramming within a team. It's like one of the best places I've seen for like multiple people to be working on the same file and like writing out, especially, considering so many people work from home and things like that. Um, it's really an awesome place to like collaborate and everything. I wouldn't say people really like design ideas on it, but like definitely a good place to brainstorm and do like low fidelities like we talked about. But yeah, so the layout is pretty much like this. You have your workspace just like in on a regular Figma workspace. And at first glance, it's really simple, but you can notice that there's no layers, assets, designs. You don't really have like the thing that you have your like design bar that you'd have on a regular workspace. Um, there's no layers, assets, or prototype panels. All the tools needed are housed in the bottom or the top right toolbars. And yeah, it's a lot more simple. And like in Figma, the top right toolbar contains navigation, collaborative tools, and audio, comment, active users, share features. You can even talk on FigJam, like as if it's a Zoom. So it's pretty cool. And FigJam's collaboration tools can also be accessed from this toolbar. So tools like Cursor, Chat might be familiar, while others are specific to FigJam. It's been updated a lot also since this photo, so feel free to go through and look through it yourselves. Um, well, I'll answer questions at the end. You can keep dropping them in the chat though about the midterm. And in your bottom toolbar, so this is the main toolbar for FigJam and it contains most of the tools that you'll need. And there aren't many tools, but they're all very like versatile and it's more intentionally created for collaboration. So it has like all the things that you would need for collaborating on like a file before you move into like let's say a Figma design file. But yeah, you have your move, pen, marker, shape, sticky notes, all these things. And yeah, so start with the marker tool. So FigJam's, it's similar to Figma's pencils tool, and it can be used to draw and notate, and the tool will automatically smooth out any lines as well. And you can't edit nodes. So remember when we are working with like drawing out lines, there would be like little like blue nodes that you would see so you can like move around the shapes. You don't have that here, but you're able to adjust color and stroke size just like you would in a Figma file. And you can quickly access this tool using M as your shortcut. And then you have the shape tool. So again, you can create many different shapes. And once created, you can change the fill, color, and outline of any shape. You can change the color, like here with choosing like the fill. There's a lot more color options as well. And then the outline colors are also coordinated to their fill color, but and cannot be changed to another color. So that's the only really thing that's different with the versus like a normal Figma design file. And then they can have a solid outline, dashed outline, or no outline at all. When you double click into a shape, you can add text. So you don't have to like drag in a text box and you can access text customization. So like bold, all these things and text formatting options include all these at the bottom. So bulleted, alignment, link embedded, and everything else. It's very cool. It's very convenient. There's also connectors. So this allows you to like create paths or connections between shapes and objects, and they can be used to annotate or call attention to a specific part of the file. So whenever you use these, it also like connects to the shapes, and the shortcut is X. So here you have a little like GIF of that. So connectors can be drawn between existing shapes, and then you can connect to objects. You just hover above it, like you see, and or below to the left or right of the starting object. You click on that little plus button, and you can to form a connection. They can also be drawn from existing shape to create a new shape. So again, it's all about like streamlining, and FigJam connectors are extremely helpful for diagramming and visual mapping. Even things like information architecture. I know a lot of teams do that on like FigJam just because it's super convenient and you can keep things like consistent. And you can adjust the connectors. So elbow connectors can be adjusted by selecting and dragging the path handles and nodes. And then handles can be crossed to create looped connectors. And the straight lines can also be converted into elbow connectors, vice versa, adjusting like straight lines using their end nodes. And it also has like, remember those shortcuts that we learned with like Shift H, Shift V, if you want to like horizontally like adjust like the alignment of your connectors as well. So those are also applicable onto the connectors. And then you also have your libraries. So the FigJam library is used to access both stickers and components. Stickers, which are created by the Figma team for decoration. I think these are literally updating like every day. So there's so many that you can find. And then components function, they do the same thing as they do in Figma, and they can be imported from existing component libraries and function as instances. And then templates. So the community created templates help users get started on Figma. So I know recently my team used like they had a competitor analysis template that's already provided for you. So it's like really great like way to like immediately get started on something without having to build something completely new. And there's a range of templates types for many different purposes ranging from team meeting templates to flow diagrams to icebreaker games. It's really fun to use. You can also put images. You can use the image tool to insert images onto the file. Images can also be directly pasted onto FigJam. And then you can use Command Control or depending on your laptop to copy and paste. And then once inserted, images can be rotated, cropped, and framed. And then they'll always scale proportionally, which is a really good like hack so you guys don't have to like worry about that as well. And then stamp and emote. So the stamp and emote tools just add a layer of fun and meaning to critiques and feedback. So again, FigJam is also used like for people to put on their files and get feedback from a lot of like different groups of people. And the stamps will remain on the file when used, even while the emotes are temporary. And then the shortcut is E. And then this combination of stickers, stamps, and emotes are versatile in how they can be used. And then you can pop some stickers and stamps on as decoration or use them more functionally for visual feedback and voting. So you can kind of see how like they put a lot on like certain stickers and things like that. Like maybe people are agreeing with those ideas and it's just a great way to like sorry, to remember like what people's opinions were when they're going through these things. There's also the timer tool. So this can be accessed using the star button or the collaborative tools button in the top right toolbar. And then you can use a timer for timed activities to stay on track. And then once finished, the timer will sound and notify all users on the FigJam file. It's pretty cute. I think you can also customize the sound that it makes, so very useful. There's high fives. This tool is pretty unique to FigJam. It can be accessed a few ways. So you can use the Start Tool or Collaborative Tools button, or you can wiggle your cursor left and right. So like when you're next to someone, you'll just like high five if you just wiggle it right there. Or you can hold the H key, and then you can move your hand cursor near another's again, like to high five. This is pretty fun. So FigJam, Figma. So working between these two things is really easy as well. So a lot of objects can be copied onto FigJam and pasted in Figma or vice versa. And many objects will retain similar properties. And then some FigJam objects, when copied over into Figma, will be treated as special objects. So these objects include like the sticky notes or like the connectors and shapes. Since those aren't like accessed in Figma, it'll just appear a little differently, but you can still copy and paste it. And you can see that it has like its own special, they have their own icons, so like you can really like differentiate what you've copy pasted into it. But yeah, we're gonna do a little demo activity. Let's see if I like can share. I'm gonna send it in the Slack, just a little file. If everyone could go hop onto that and we'll just like play around. Let me know if you need help with like accessing it or anything. Stop running away. Wait, try clicking around. Yeah. I just want everyone to like try, you can try out this like camera thing. If you click the red button, it'll take a photo of you. So if everyone could go do that and we can have a little collection of like who's at lecture today. This is fun to watch. Why don't I see any photos, guys? Are you guys shy?
I think at first it was only like you couldn't edit, but as long as you allow it, I think you could take the picture.
Awesome. Thanks for letting everyone know. And then go ahead and play around with the sticky notes. Should we do rosebud thorn or something? Oh, actually, everyone write which restaurant they're gonna use. Put in a sticky note and then write. I did Top Dog when I did this. And we'll just play around with that. Cute. And then you could use stickers and like react to people's photos and things like that. Very fun. Use a connector to connect your photo to someone else. So cute. We could try the timer. I'll give you guys 1 more minute. Play music on here. Cute. Did everyone hear the music? I'm gonna assume yes. Fun. Okay. Let me stop sharing and we can go back to lecture. Okay, so very fun way to work with people, see what people are doing, and yeah. And then these are FigJam basics, so it's just a file with like all like the stickers and all these things. So shout out Kelly Lee. And here's some use cases of like when people are using them. So it's simple but versatile and can be used for many different purposes. So when you're feeling stuck or want some sample starting pieces, these are some helpful templates and use cases that you guys can use. So diagramming. This is one of the key functions of FigJam, and it has tools such as shapes and connectors, which make it simple to diagram ideas and create mind maps. So if you ever feel stuck and don't know where to start, this is a really good one to use. For user personas, it can be used to record and synthesize research information. So say you're on a project and you just want a simple way to like lay out all the information. It's really, really good template to use. Then you can use sticky notes to organize your information, things that you've learned, and have a good way to like for people to like collaborate and look at all the user personas you've created. And then there's also games. So let's say you try and do an icebreaker, there's some templates, and these users are more unconventionals, such as the case of the haiku composer, but still fun. Maybe when you're trying to make friends with your team or something, I don't know. And then whiteboard. So while FigJam tools can be used to create organized diagrams and complex mind maps, you can also just use it as a whiteboard. And here are some examples of how Figma Decal teams have used FigJam to plan the semester. So, like when we're looking at feedback and we're trying to organize what everyone thinks about the class, what we can fix, the scheduling, office hours, all these things are usually done within FigJam. And there's some structure, but you also make the most of the FigJam tools to make meetings more engaging and fun. But yeah, and now Figma Community. So, what is the community? This is a space for all users to discover resources, find inspiration, and support creators. Figma wants to make design accessible for everyone, so the community is a great way for like new users to get like templates and like resources from older users and just really make using Figma not seem so daunting. And the users contribute by publishing files or developing plugins for everyone to use. And you can find UI kits, wireframes, FigJam templates, everything on here. So think of it as a Behance Dribble, but directly on Figma for Figma. And then resources you can find on here. So there's community files, which are user created and they're publicly available. It's free. Anyone can view, inspect, and duplicate it for themselves. And when users duplicate a file, it saves a copy onto their drafts. And then plugins are third-party add-on features for FigJam or Figma, and the users can download to make their experience efficient and enhanced. And then when users install plugins, they can access it directly within the editor or within FigJam. And then prototypes are a type of file, but published via the prototype view instead of the draft view. So users can interact with it and duplicate them, and they have a play icon. So, like, for example, this lecture is in prototype view. And then you can find the community in the right-hand panel and ways to explore on community, search for specific files, creators, or tags. You can explore the resource feed. You can view specific files and creators. I know I personally, like, I would even go onto like Google and like search up what I need, let's say like from a Figma asset, and I would type in exactly what I want, and then I would type asset, and I would just get directly redirected to this page and like be able to find exactly what I need. Um, but yeah, so this is just the home page. Here's all the filters, the search buttons, featured files and plugins, maybe something new or something that they want like that's getting a lot of attention at the time, top plugins, the explore page, and so much more. And then the resource page just continued. So description. Oh, this is like what it looks like when you open up a Figma community page. So you have the option to duplicate it, install it. Then you can see who created it, clickable tags, so you can see more things that are similar to this. And yeah, comments as well, people leaving feedback and things like that. And then creator profiles. So Ace is the guy who made this whole decal. So like this is his page with all of his lectures and labs that he created, and it's all public and it's all viewable for anyone, accessible to anyone. And then Figma users, so they can opt to create a custom profile by claiming a public handle to showcase their resources, like Ace did right here. And then you need a profile in order to publish, like, follow, and comment on resources, which you guys all have. And then duplicating files and installing plugins do not require a public profile. But if you want a custom handle with your name on it, we suggest you create one now. So you guys can do that now or after class. But yeah, claim your name before someone takes it. And then what can you use this community for? To look for inspiration on what to design and see how others are using Figma. You can quicken your workflow by downloading plugins, use templates to supercharge your FigJam, or look for design libraries, UI kits, and wireframes. I know a really popular one is like sometimes when you're, or like what I've experienced at least is like when I'm prototyping or things like that, and I want like a template of like uh, an iPhone or something. Like I can search that and find someone who's already created like the base design of an iPhone, and then I can copy in my design or whatever I've created onto that, and then it'll look like an iPhone, and it just like looks really good, honestly, when like you're creating your files. But yeah, and feel free to explore Figma, the like the community page and everything. And in lecture 10, we'll cover like publishing and remixing. So like if you want to publish your your UI kits or anything like that, plugins and widgets, and my Figma experience. And then any questions so far on that? You can also stay on after if you'd like. Yeah, here's some community examples of things that we recommend you guys checking out. So this is the brand style guide kit, interposter, avatar illustration system, artboard studio mockups, material design system, user research in Figma, Catan, it's pretty cool. It's playable. Zelda Maker, resume template, Tetris, and yeah. Any questions? Cool. So we'll talk about finding inspiration. So getting inspired. So when you're starting a new design project, I mean, when you're looking at a blank like workspace, it can feel pretty overwhelming. So here's some ways to spark that inspiration and get your creativity flowing. So learning from peers. So looking at fellow designers' work can help spark your creative process if you're feeling stuck. And these are some online resources that we recommend. These are all clickable, so if you want to hop onto the lecture yourself and like go through these, please feel free. I know especially like for example, if any of you guys are looking to build your portfolios, I really recommend like going online and like just like looking up UX portfolios or like design portfolios and taking a look. And like that's a really great way to like get inspiration and like see kind of like what the pages should look like or like good flows and everything. And it's really everything's out there if you just search for it. And the inspiration is everywhere. Like I said, but yeah. Stepping away from the places we normally seek inspiration can lead to a whole new world of inspiration and creative juices. So look at things around you or like things that inspire you and just turn them into inspiration. But yeah. And if it's inspiration should not be copying. So credit where credit is due and ask for permission, especially if you're using anyone else's work and make sure that they're okay with it. So especially if you be publicly sharing that work, combine multiple sources of inspiration. So referencing non-traditional sources for designers and blending inspiration is a great way to make sure your work is original and unique to you. And make sure you're adding your own twist and discovering your own style as well. Organizing inspiration, so like mood boards and things like that. Documentation is really important and can help you organize scattered inspiration into a design approach. I know especially like it's a great way to track like how you've grown and like the things that you're drawing your ideas from, especially if let's say like one day you're asked like, oh, what led to this? Or I would like to see the process of like how you came to this conclusion. Like organizing all your documentation, it's like a really efficient way to like make sure you're keeping up and have sort of like a history page of like everything that you've came up with. And then have a place to save any inspiration you come across, whether that's snapping a quick picture, adding it to an album, or creating a mood board in Figma. Even within the Figma, like let's say you created a new design file, if you have like a draft page and then you can create a new page with your final, like that will be a really good way to like go back and reference everything that you did. And then tips for mood boarding, just be clear about what the project's goal is. Start with keywords. So like what do you want the mood board to convey? And then use your mood board to explore new ideas and concepts quickly before diving in. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, and that's pretty much lecture today. Homework 6, there's no homework other than working on your midterm. And again, please use your time wisely. We know midterm season is really rough, but this project is really up to you and completely in your court aside from like the prompts. But yeah, lab 6 will just be midterm critique. So I would recommend having a little something to be able to get some critique while you can. And make sure you do not miss this lab because your TAs are also like people who've taken the class. So like make sure it'll be a great opportunity for you to like get some feedback from people who understand this project really well. Yeah, here's the attendance link, and the secret word is blush, BLUSH. Yeah, if you'd like to stay on, feel free to stay on, but other than that, you guys are free to go. I stop recording.